How's it going? It is all the news all the time. My name is Adam, and some very interesting story today. It's kind of like going down a rabbit hole, and I was exploring different things, looking at different stuff. My question I'm asking myself is, has Amber Heard got a role in this film because a very wealthy Italian woman has got the hots for Johnny Depp? This is this is has she got a lady boner for Johnny Depp, this Italian woman? You might be thinking, what the actual hell are you talking about, Adam? You've gone crazy. You're making up stuff now. But let's bear with me for a second, and we'll see where this crazy sort of path goes. Anyway, Amber Heard is going to launch a new film which is called In the Fire. Yes, I know a lot of people would like to see Amber Heard in the Fire, but as part of a strong lineup, generous, at Taormina, don't care, Film Festival. And there she is. What's the film about? Well, it's going to be blah, 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 blah. It's a supernatural thriller, as you can see here, and it stars Amber Heard as a pioneering psychiatrist. Right, right. Well, she might have good experience in that department, but not as the psychiatrist, who sets out to treat a desperate child at a time when psychiatry is not yet a respected science. You mean today? Because it still isn't. Set in 1899, the film follows a 38-year-old American, just about, psychiatrist as she arrives on a rich farm in Colombia. Oh, I wonder what they grow in Colombia. After being called to solve the case of a disturbed child, following increasingly insistent accusations that the child is the devil. What, literally the devil? Not just a devil. While the woman tries to psychoanalyze the child, the nefarious events intensify, and her cure becomes a race to save the little boy from the fury of his fellow citizens and perhaps even from himself. So that's the general synopsis of the film. Kind of unbelievable that this woman is going to come and do some psychiatry on anybody, although she might have some insights herself. But I was looking at some of this stuff, and it's being promoted. I was looking at the IMDb page, and it's being promoted by this production company. So this is the company that runs it, has put the money up for it to put Amber Heard in this film, and they're called Lervolino and Lady Bacardi Entertainment. I was thinking, Lady Bacardi, like Bacardi, like the drink, and is she a lady? Bacardi, who are these people? Lady Bacardi, and there's some other people down here. And this is the film In the Fire, and it seems to be a Spanish-Italian thing. I was looking at a lot of Spanish-Italian words when I was reading some stuff about it, but the key thing I was looking at here was Lervolino and Lady Bacardi Entertainment being the production company that is actually running it. So I was thinking, who are these people? Doing some research on their finances. Lervolino, Lady Bacardi Entertainment SPA. This is formerly Lervolino Entertainment. So in this point, Lady Bacardi is joined and taken sort of precedence, is a global production company established by Andrea Lervolino, okay, and Lady Monica Bacardi. Monica Bacardi, Lady Monica, in 2011, specializing in cinema and television content production. The company listed on Euronext Growth Milan and Paris has a Hollywood footprint, strong focus on OTTs, don't know what that means. It produces diversified contents for an international audience, focusing on core production phases and IP ownership. Right, okay, so it's a production company. Key bit down here, I think, is it also does celebrity management. I was thinking, is Amber Heard, are these people managers, like celebrity managing Amber Heard? Is that what's going on here? And this is their stock price. Seems to be on a downward trend. I don't know how long that is. What's that, May, June? A couple of months downward trend. Not by significant numbers, though. Let's have a little look more in depth. So I was looking at Twitter, and this is their Twitter page, Lervolino Lady Bacardi Entertainment, 655 tweets. I think one of the most interesting things when I was looking into it was Johnny Depp is their first post, or their latest post on the 9th of June. It's the 17th of June right now. So this is a post about Johnny Depp. This is Lady Bacardi. And this is Mr. Lervolino. There's some links there, and we've got Johnny Depp, but now we've got Amber Heard, we've got Lady Bacardi, and we've got Lervolino. Okay, so why is this their first post? Why is this production company, who have got a contact with Johnny Depp, why are they promoting Amber Heard? So today's a very special day. At To Johnny Depp, this doesn't exist as a like an account. It's account suspended. Is this Johnny Depp's actual account and it's been suspended? What is going on? We don't know because it's just suspended. If I open it, it's just says account suspended. I was like, okay. Celebrates his birthday. This is 9th of June. Many happy returns, friend and colleague. May you spend it with great joy. This is coming from either Monica Bacardi or Lovelina Andrea from these groups. Very strange indeed. If you look down more through their posts, you see some posts about the films and production stuff they do. They've signed an agreement for the music. They tell good stories. They say, this is Lady Bacardi out and about, schmoozing and glad handing, and famous stars. And she's an honorary advisor board of WDIT, whatever that is, and some other stuff going on. I think the key question we're asking is, why is Johnny Depp connected to this? And why is Amber Heard connected to this? So I was looking into it slightly further. That's been suspended. This is their company in America, the Ambi company. This is quite a deep rabbit hole, so I kind of bear with me here. This is their American, or Lady Bacardi's American production company in America. As you can see there, she's Lady of Bayfield Hall. This is Ambi Group, consortium of vertically integrated film development, production, finance, and distribution companies, wholly owned and operated by Andrea Levellino and Monica Gomez del Campo Bacardi, also known as Lady of Bayfield Hall. I was like, that sounds like something in England. It sounds like an English title, Lady of Bayfield Hall. So I was looking into this, thinking, there's not really such a thing as Lady of Bayfield Hall. It sounds like an estate. So I was looking into that, and it is. I know, this is all kind of strange. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to open a new tab up here. I'm going to paste it in there. And I'm going to search Bayfield Hall, as you can see here. It's a Grade 2 listed building. And it's up here. It's near the village of Leatheringset in the hamlet of Gladford in English County of Norfolk. Right, so it's just a hall. So what's it got to do with this woman? Well, the plot thickens. I was thinking, who is Monica Bacardi, and what is her net worth? Monica Bacardi, married to the billionaire. Okay, that's making sense. Luis Alberto Facundo Gomez del Campo Bacardi. Are you serious? The great grandson of the creator of Bacardi rum. Right, so he's the great grandson. She's married him and taken the money. This is what I'm thinking. Okay, so Monica Bacardi was married to this Luis Alberto Facundo Gomez de Campo Bacardi, great grandson of the creator of Bacardi. So following her husband's death in 2005, the 51-year-old heiress has used her wealth to fund the making of films and made a name for herself as an influential film movie producer. Oh, has she now? So that's where she's got her money from. 51-year-old film producer, as known as Lady at Bayfield Hall, born August 20 in 1968. As it says here, she's a wealthy heiress. No, she's not. Comes from a long line of highly influential industry figures within the 19th century. All of that is a complete lie. Absolutely, I'll explain in a second. But that, as we like to say in law, is a fabrication. Fabrication. And she traveled, yeah, it's quite interesting. She traveled the globe where she met her late husband, Louis, blah, 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 Lord of Bayfield Hall, who passed away in 2005. Right? So they married in 2000. See, these numbers are quite interesting to me. She married him in 2000, have a daughter, Maria, blah, blah, blah. So they've got a daughter together. Influential. Posts about various influential people. And according to net worth, she's worth a whopping $5 billion, 4.4 billion pounds, life of luxury in Monaco, and so on and so forth. Let's have a little look more into it. Monica Bacardi's net worth, $5.5 billion, co-founding of Ambi Production Pictures, which is the American branch of it, and she's made 30 projects. She lives in Monaco. She had a French magazine called Photo in 2017. She married Lord Louis Bacardi. He's not a lord, and she had a daughter named Maria Louisa. So I was looking more into this. Some strange stuff going on here. Right, so this is the wealth and sweet life are hanging heavy on rum baron Louis de Campo Bacardi. Left stirring concern in the family. Jason Nice looks at dynastic strains in a proud company. So what we got here is the husband, Luis Alberto Facundo Gomez de Campo Bacardi. Jesus Christ. He's the great-grandson of the creator of Bacardi. Okay, so this is the guy. So he's then finding himself handcuffed, taken to the cells beneath the Palace of Justice in Geneva. So he was failing to pay $50,000 a month maintenance awarded to his wife Daniela. So this is before Lady Bacardi turns up. 4 hours later, his lawyer turns up, draws up a check for $70,000. He's released, and then he's on the fast train to his $15 million house in Monte Carlo. Of course, he is. This is the life of the super hyper rich moving around. Anyway, as we continue down here, what we find out is all sorts of shenanigans. He's been drunk over here. There's all sorts of craziness. There's arguments. Bacardi's dragging him away from his wife, pushing and shoving. This is a series of attacks that Miss Bacardi's launched on her husband. And there's issues about Mr. Bacardi is being painted as a weak-willed character, constantly moving from home to home to keep ahead of tax authorities. Even talk of an application being made to the Swiss courts for Mr. Bacardi to be placed under guardianship. So this enormously wealthy Mr. Bacardi to be placed under guardianship. Hugely wealthy person, place him under guardianship, you control the money. So he's weak-willed, and he's at risk of being put under guardianship. He seems to be, I don't mean to be rude, but he seems to be dissolute and party time. And it was his great-grandfather who made the company. He's just been living off the money for all of his life. And yeah, so this was back earlier before Lady Bacardi turns up. And I think this is quite interesting that he's at risk of being placed under guardianship. Very interesting indeed. And then Monica Bacardi turns up, and she meets another guy by the name of Raphael Arbath. He's the person whose father makes those cars, the Arbath cars. So she meets him, and this guy, Raphael Arbath, demands £234,000 for introducing her to that guy, to this Luis Alberto Facundo Gomez de Campo Bacardi. So he's demanding £234,000 for introducing her to that guy. And he says that if she doesn't pay up, he's going to go to the press with lurid revelations about how she met her husband. Well, what sort of lurid revelations can you make about how you meet someone? Is a question I'm asking myself quite often. And there she is with Joan Collins. This is the Arbath guy, the Raphael Arbath, the guy who blackmails her and says, give me £234,000 or I'll tell everyone the lurid details of how you met your husband. But what is like the lurid details? I'm like, what is the lurid details? What is going on? So, I mean, she says, right, that she allegedly got the job with this Luis Alberto Facundo, blah, blah, blah. She got the job thanks to a recommendation from Raphael's mother. And that's what she says. But clearly he's saying something entirely different. And what your guess is as good as mine. I don't think your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, this is the Arbath cars. You know, they take normal cars and they sort of soup them up. Yeah, it's the Fiat 595, but then they soup it up and turn it into the Arbath version. Yeah, so strange, really strange. So he gets put in prison, this guy. There's a picture of him in the courtroom for this, because he's been blackmailed. This guy's a playboy. He's been out and doing loads of stuff for years, living off his great-grandfather's money, kind of like someone else we might know. What is going on with this crazy story? And yeah, we hear all sorts of crazy stuff, and we find out that where's the bit that I wanted to show you? There's so many fun things about this. The lady Bacardi is not a lady, but the husband bought the name, the title. Where's the bit that I wanted to show you? 1 second. Ah, yeah, this bit. So we're still talking about Luis de Campo, blah 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 Bacardi. So he never sought a job in the company. No, of course he didn't. I don't think he's ever had a job in his life. Anyway, he leaves Cuba, and Mr. Bacardi took up the life of a flamboyant playboy. Of course he did, flaunting the Bacardi name at Ascot, Longchamp, and other events in the social calendar. It gave him the name gave him entree to the top echelons of society. He rubbed shoulders with the likes of this, that, and the other. In 1988, because he's hanging around with kings and dukes and such and so forth, so in 1988 he decides to buy himself a title. He purchased from the Earl of Kimberley the right to be called the Lord of the Manor of Bayfield Hall. The manor in Norfolk, which is yet to see a visit from its lord. So this guy, our good friend Louis de Campo Bacardi, he buys the title from this guy, the Earl of Kimberley, at the right to call himself Lord of Bayfield Hall. He then dies, and she, Monica Bacardi, then takes the name Lady Bacardi. It's great, this stuff. Quite hilarious. There's some more stuff that goes on as well. Oh yeah. So I was looking at this bit. How did Monica Bacardi make her money? It's from the Sun. And it says here she came from a long line of highly influential industry figures within the 19th century, so was born into money. Lies and fabrications. She married Luis Alberto blah 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 Bacardi, right? And he dies in 2005 at the age of 72. Right. So he dies. So she's married him, and he dies at the age of 72, and she's 54 now. If you take this birth date, that makes her 54, but that's now. She's 54 now, and she married this guy and he died when he was 72 in 2005. Well, it's not 2005 now. That's a long time ago. I did some. Hold on, quick bit of maths. Where's my notes? Quick bit of notes. Yeah. So if he was 72 in 2005, and they were married for 5 years, he was 67 when she married him, and she's 54 right now. It's 2023. So you go back to 2005, she was 36. So she's 36 years old, and she marries a guy who's 67. And yeah, okay. And very interesting. I thought to myself, long line of money. And what else do you say about yourself, lady? She's a long line of highly influential industry figures. Yeah, I doubt that. Very, very much indeed. Very much indeed. And yeah, I just wanted to show you the last few things. So yeah, this is the IMDb page for Ivor Lino and Lady Bacardi Entertainment, sorted in popularity. You can look at the various films they've been involved with. So Spin Me Round, Ritual Killer, Lamborghini. This is what made me think they're quite Italian. Lamborghini, Enzo Ferrari, Italian again. Minamata. So this is a Johnny Depp film. So I was thinking, why is Johnny Depp getting linked into this? And then waiting for the Barbarians as well. Again, Johnny Depp. So I was like, what is occurring here? And then we have In the Fire with Amber Heard. And then we go back to her Twitter page, and the first link is Johnny Depp. And I was thinking, what is going on here? What and who and what is going on? So yeah. So I'm thinking a lot of thoughts here. But let me know your thoughts on this. I found it quite interesting to go down this little rabbit hole of enormous wealth and very dodgy people. Very dodgy people indeed. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. All right. Maybe this was just me. Maybe only I found this interesting, but yeah. Okay. I'll see you guys later.